a lot of artists, especially producers, who are responsible for sampling and interpolation and all these things at the base level, need to realize that it's not about your intent or your intention. Somebody will say, oh, but we don't mean anything, we jingle we they do. The court and the law don't care how you feel or what you thought.
The copyright laws actually were created to give creative expressions, original creative expressions, the same level of legal cover or protection as your goat or your house or your car. You buy Benz, I like Benz. So you park, lock door, I sit inside a spark at the drive go. Police go catch me.
The moment your inherent creative abilities come to mind and you want to express it, listen, the moment you think of expressing it, think twice. Think protection.
Hi guys, the name is Koji Junior and this is Play It Right podcast. It's a Ghanaian music rights podcast. We dive into essential topics every musician and every music publisher should know. And I'm here with some big people, music expertise. I would actually love for them to introduce themselves.
Hi, how you doing? The name is Frank Kwabna Owusu. That's the name in the passport, like I always say. But the popular one is Frankie 5. I work at the Creative Arts Agency as director, deputy director. I'm a radio presenter and musician.
Wow.
Hello, welcome to be here. The name is Cyril Gokel. Everybody calls me Cyril, head of brands and marketing at 3 Media Networks and a few other things that I do as well. But yeah, it's a pleasure to be here.
How you doing?
I'm doing amazing.
You the hard guy.
Thanks, I did try.
My name is Kofi Boachansa. I'm popularly known as Beat Menace or I'm Beat Menace in the music space. And I'm a multidisciplinary artist and my practice is at an intersection of fine art, design, film, music, and law. And it's great to be here.
Great to have you guys here.
Thanks
Cyril,
for having us.
Your name is actually Cyril.
Yes.
And your name is still Cyril.
Yes.
That was a stage name.
Yes, that's my creative name.
That's so
Then
fun.
you be musician before.
Cyril, hard rapper.
I get pictures.
I beg you.
Charlie, do a same as some guy.
And they wait when you want to stand for president.
I beg same as some guy.
I was
take blue songs.
before you were taking on, I said to you.
them.
So guys, today's topic is, has Ghana prepared its artists and music for copyright claims globally? So today's topic is basically about copyright. But before we even start this, I want you guys to tell us something little about copyright.
Okay, so let me dive in. I think to break it down in the simplest terms, copyright speaks to the ownership, distribution, and usage rights allocated to any piece of media created, be it digital or intellectual property, created digitally, analog, physically, whatever. So once something is the brainchild of anybody, it can be copywritten to be protected so that anybody who seeks to benefit from that intellectual property would need either the consent, the collaboration, or the permission of the original creator. So in a nutshell, that's what it's really about.
Okay. So if I'm getting this right, you can copyright your name in a certain font.
Everything.
So it's not just music.
No.
I think that will be like a trademark.
Yeah.
A trademark.
So it's vast. It's a vast conversation, but yes, the short answer to your question is yes.
It doesn't only apply to music. Literally works like your books, like your audio books and the physical ones and write-ups, and that's why someone can come and say this you've plagiarized my work and can actually pick you on, and that's also copyright. Okay, so it doesn't just apply to music or film, but every expression that comes out from an individual that has its originality from that person, there's a certain right that is attributed to that person legally, and that person enjoys that right. So if you want to enjoy that right, you must do the right thing, else you infringe on the copyright of that person. You get me? So it's in that simple term. It's not that complicated. It looks a very complicated, hunhudious, subject that people are very scared to even touch and all that. But when you break it down to the pieces, these people, they'll speak big English. So me, I'll break it down to the ordinary person.
I like that.
To understand that it is just anything that you're able to express, and it's in it. You actually hold the originality of it. You did not copy it from any other person. You created it from your own inspiration. It could be a piece of art, it could be some design that you put in a cloth and looks so unique. It could be, this Edinkra stuff. People actually expressed it, and it becomes their original property, So if you really want to have any piece of it or use it, you need to use it right, else you become a thief. It's just like you come into my house without knocking, you jump, you pick anything you want, and if you catch thief, what do they do?
I want to stress on the word original creation, because that's very important, because it's possible for somebody to copy another person's idea. And in such a case, just like he pointed out, you would need permission from that person. And that permission has to be granted before you can create what we usually call a derivative work, or a work inspired by something that pre-exists, that was originally created by somebody else. I don't know if that makes sense.
So, so derivative works are, like for example, sampling, where he'll create the original. I want to use it. I take the original, sample it into my music. That's something I've derived from
a pre-existing work.
Yeah, people will say, I was inspired by this, but you still need to do the right thing.
Guys, so as I said, this is going to be very informative and educational podcast. As you can see, I have expertise here, and they are very well versed in this topic, the music business, anything at all. So I have one question. How did you guys end up in the music industry, in the music business?
Start with Cyril.
Yeah, I was
start with the rapper.
He's the hardcore rapper. So you need to talk.
How did I start? This guy, he probably better to tell me how did I end up.
What inspired you guys?
We started out together in a rap group back in the day.
He probably knows how I started out more than how I started. I don't
Wait,
remember.
if I'm getting this right, you guys were in a rap group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was,
Technically,
you digress your podcast too. If you follow us.
It'd be a long story, but probably at the time we're really young, probably maybe the second generation of like English rappers, in Ghana. It was a group we called NT, which I don't want to go into the nitty-gritties, but it was Cyril, another friend of ours, Tindayo, Manfire, and then myself. And yeah, it'd be a long story.
Was it?
By those time, they changed your man the way. If they shadow stations, if you go here for here.
Yes. So that's where the music journey started. I mean, just a bunch of kids who knew how to work the software and were exposed to a whole world of music. Ironically, I wasn't exposed to hip hop. I was exposed to a lot of soul, dancehall, R&B, John Holt, Jimmy Cliff,
rock
Marley,
music, gospel.
rock music. Like so, I'm a music fan. If you sit in my car before I play hip hop, then something. Irony. Even when I was coming, I wasn't listening to hip hop. I rarely listen to hip hop. I'm a music lover, and I was inspired by my parents, by friends, society around me, and I just really embraced it. But I found that I was good with lyricism or poetry or whatever. So like he said, we realized we had various strengths. We created a group. We started out working with, if you want to know how far back I'm talking, go online and search for a software called Dance EJ, and then you'll see how far back we
So you had passion and love for it.
We're enough to walk all the way from my house to his house to the other guy's house and go camp there for 12 hours. Just nobody even know we exist. They rap fast.
Love
You
it.
understand?
Love it.
And
Love it.
Yeah, and then
I
one
think
thing became
it was
another.
rapping and gaming. Both
Yeah,
were
rap- yeah,
intertwined,
Yeah. So basically just some nerds who, wanted to do this, and then it ended up one day. So besides that, we also started a business. One day we were sitting in the business and they said there's a competition, there's a rap competition somewhere. You should go try your hands. I try my hands, and voila, Cyril is born. Next thing I know, I'm outside.
MC Africa.
Yeah, I'm outside the country.
Everywhere.
I'm outside the country doing stuff. Come back, take a stint at it, drop projects, videos, the whole 9 yards, and then evolution happens. So, yeah.
Wow.
Frankie Vibe.
Me, I had to drop my football career to pursue music. Yes.
That's been the
You used
next
to play
Abedi
soccer?
Pele.
Yeah, I have my football mates, in some of them in Black Stars, in I think 3-4 years ago.
Wow.
I had some of my mates in Black Stars. So I played to the coast level.
Oh.
I be 100% Accra boy. I was born in Alajo, so I played coast football in Alajo, Newtown, Mamobi, Nima area. A church called Seventh-day Adventist Church, SDA Church. They were doing witnessing. They found themselves in my house. Witnessed to me one fine afternoon. I was going to play my football, and I had to listen to them, and they invited me to a crusade. So it was the following week, I went to the crusade and I saw young guys, 6 of them, all singing different melodies without keyboards, no instruments, and it was just
An a cappella group.
Lord have mercy.
Those guys are amazing.
I think
when it comes to a cappella.
That got me. And so I got stuck to it. I got stuck to the church, and I had to leave my football career because I wanted to sing like them. So I thought my talent was in football until I realized that the voice was better than my foot. So in university, I don't know if you remember Maximum Impact Band. Yeah, we used to play at Shangri-La Hotel. So I was the lead.
in the
I was the
day.
lead
Okay.
singer back in the day. You know Shangri-La? Gen Z, they don't know. We used to play Shangri-La Hotel
Yes,
every
I remember they used to have
Friday
nice
night.
pies.
Yes,
Hey,
Very
Shangri-La
nice
pool was
pies,
a big
yeah.
deal.
big deal.
Yeah.
We
Deal.
played by the pool Friday night and Saturday night.
Why
So
they laugh?
Shangri-La is by the roadside, right?
Hey, those times in the pop.
It's now a bus stop.
it's not a bus stop.
Oh.
It was actually a big time hotel in Accra.
Massive.
Massive. So yeah.
Shangri-La is not a bus stop.
No.
It's a bus stop, but it used to be.
Yeah,
Those-
the
those-
bus,
those-
it's called a bus stop because it used to be the entrance
to the
to
hotel.
the hotel. But when the hotel went down, they cordoned
blocked
off
it,
there
yeah.
and made a bus stop.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's how I discovered my music career, and I followed that passion throughout. Here we are today.
Wow. As I said, guys, this is going to be very, very educative and informative. You didn't know this about them. I know that you didn't know this about them. So I have another question. The next question is, how aware are Ghanaians artists of copyright laws and their importance?
Ghanaians, I don't know. Like for where I sit at Creative Arts Agency, I get people coming in every blessed day wanting to know about music publishing and copyright. It gives me an idea that a wider spectrum of musicians, both young and old, have no jack about copyright. They get inspired most of the time. Most of them will say, "Oh, how did you get this lyric?" So I was inspired by this artist, and by the time you realize they have actually copied a portion of some works into what they are doing. And so the knowledge of it, I'm not too sure if majority have the knowledge. I can say from where I sit and from the people that have engaged in the wider spectrum across the country, that issue of copyright, it's a big plague in this industry. And the earlier we tackle it, that's why I'm happy for this podcast, that the earlier we tackle it from the basics, the better.
I think it's getting better, especially with the younger generation of artists and musicians, primarily because of social media and the mass proliferation of the internet. But generally speaking, I don't think
It's in a good
a
place.
lot of people in the value chain, of music and other art forms really truly understand the importance of it. Because I mean, even just like Frankie said, an entire period of Ghanaian music was actually built off interpolations
Sampling
and
just
unauthorized sampling of a lot of foreign music. You understand?
I just learned the word interpolation like 2 days ago. I think it will be in my next question. You guys will get to know.
Okay. But also, I think there's a cultural aspect to it, which is why I feel campaigns of this nature are very, very important. You see, first and foremost, we are mostly Ghanaians. We are African people. Okay. As far as I'm concerned, there's no culture on the African continent that even has a specific name for art. Okay. Because when you live as an African, as a Ghanaian, the very process of living itself means you're expressing multiple art forms without your knowing it. Okay? So woman preg, they do outdooring, somebody died, then born kiddie, somebody hits puberty, somebody marry, somebody travel, somebody gets a work promotion. You are creating art unprovoked. Certain prayers are said, libation is being poured, all those kind of things. It be poetry, right? Certain forms of music are performed, certain clothes are worn. Sometimes they paint your bodies on style, scarifications, body,
Chalking.
the chalk. Those things will be fashion. Certain motifs are painted on walls. It's architecture.
The traditional
So
symbols.
Africans always expressed art in a very immersive, seamless manner. You understand? It be white man come we compartmentalize them.
Yeah.
We package them in a way where you go fee commercialize them or sell them. So because we they express art so effortlessly, I think it minimized the commercial value we placed on it. That's why they lose term for music and entertainment in Akan. It's agro, agro.
Yeah.
We they take play, but it be money. You catch where they come from.
now
You should
we
see the
got-
surprise on my face right now.
No. It be true thing. It be true thing.
You just drew my attention to
In
something.
fact, in most African societies, right, when people they perform, and I'll come to this whole, there's an aspect of feminism also involved. It be very slippery slope. In most African societies, when artists and musicians they perform, the lines between performers and audience be blurry. Cho boy, yay! No more so. Then it dictates the direction safe for the music. So we all will be artists. So he had say, I will come tell you, say, Charlie, I create this painting, but it be 5 million. For your mind inside, be like, we crashing into me, maybe. But we need to get past that unconscious blockade to tailor it in such a way that it can be commercialized, and we need to recognize that the inherent IP or intellectual property that informed the creation of the work is worth something. Idebab. Charlie, we all day here locked down. We see pictures of Ahinema, Valentino, then Thief. Charlie, Twitter was on fire for like 2 weeks. When did they sell them for like what? Like 1,500 euros? It be IP. It's Kappa. You gave me. Yeah. So it be dancing song.
Apart from the creation of the art forms that informs how we value the art forms, also quite impactful is the consumption. We enjoy our art, like Kofi said, inherently, when all the important stuff is done. You understand? So there's a clear demarcation between what is work and what is play. And at no point is any art form considered work. You get what I'm saying? We traditionally, culturally, at Enyejuma, even if you are the palace and you are the drama for the linguist, boom, 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 they're translating for the palace. You cannot refer to that as work. It's even a privilege. That, yes. So the concept of I did this job and I need to be paid for it doesn't exist in our traditional setting. It's a Western setting, which Western mindset, which has been brought into our setting. So for me, that's the main disconnect that stops us from appreciating the individual values of our creativity. Because from our forefathers even till today, let me use this example. I mean, pardon me to use this example, but even this issue that's hot now on the music scene with Defe.
Yeah.
They are like, oh, but it's gospel. And it's something everybody says, yes, but there was an origination point. There's a point of origination of that phrase. It's like Dana say. If we trace Dana say, if I were to release a song today and I lifted Dana say the way it is and I put it in my song, everybody will say, oh, Dana say, they will sing them since.
No,
but you
Jesus, no lie.
But you can find the origination point. And if that person takes you up in court, the fact that 100,000 people have used it, you are the one they are suing.
So there is an originator for Danasi.
Now, where did they come from?
It's become a public domain song. That's how we call it now.
Yeah.
Like
But-
copyright office, you go there, they'll tell you there are certain songs that the authors are missing. Like it's been used over generations in Ghana, and now it's become a universal song for choruses in churches. And so people go in there and they pick some up. But be very careful. The ghost of these people may rise up one day.
Those are gray areas because
Very great
they
areas.
were never documented.
Yes, not documented. You see, and then also I like what Beatman said, the cultural aspect that runs through African rhythms. You know, so we Africans. So there are certain songs creations that you definitely have some African chordal progressions in there. Practically, let's do this. Give me this chordal progression. No. Just give me that. Sounds South African, eh? Osuni mifie. Yebesako eju. Atati sa yo. Yeah. That's Ghanaian, no? I'm going South Africa. Ta-na-na-na. Go. Ta-na-na-na. Ta-na-na-na. Ta-na-na-na-na. You are man. So you get Black Mambazo, Lady Smith doing these chordal progressions, and you get a lady like Florence Obinim also using this chord, because you find that this progression emanates from a southern part of Africa, but it comes into the West Coast, and we're able to fairly adapt because we are Africans. You will find it. However, let's be very careful. There are certain chordal progressions that have been documented. You may be an African. You may be inspired by the patterns, but be very careful. Certain patterns are documented. So you do your research properly before you even go into fair use. I know you're going to ask me what's fair use. Ask Cyril. He's a technical.
You just said the word, so I think you should.
No, ask them. Fair use.
Well, fair use is a contingency that was created in copyright law to give a pass under certain unique circumstances to prevent somebody claiming an infringement.
Sole
ownership or an infringement on a copyrighted piece of music, like education, for instance. And fair use is a bit of a gray area because it varies
it's not
from
a law. So fair use is not a law, it's a policy. The difference between it being a policy is that it's always in motion. A law is passed and that's it. Do not urinate here. But if you say we have a policy on where you can urinate, then it's up for discussion. You get the difference?
depending on the circumstances.
Depending on circumstance. So if you notice, for example, go to YouTube, check every Christmas movie that Hollywood or anybody has put out. You either hear some 3 or 4 seconds of tun, 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 then some other song plays. So they use the Jingle Bell tune to lead you into the mindset that it's Christmas, but they don't have the permission to play the entire song. So they've used it within the space of fair use, because Jingle Bell is now globally owned. From Japan to Australia to Accra to
Recognized,
Chicago,
globally
everybody
recognized.
sings Jingle Bell. So who now they come say it be my own?
If I'm getting
You
it
get what I'm
right,
saying?
fair use is basically a loophole.
It's not a loophole, it's an accommodation, because we've realized that not all creative content have singular ownership, and not all of them were used in a way intended for commercial modification or adaptation. For example, again, Daanase. It's a religious song that stemmed from a need to praise. And it's a song about praises. But with the modernization of the music mediums, it now went into the realm of commerciality, where now it needs to be dubbed on a cassette. It's going to cost money. So if you buy a cassette for 10 CDs, you are now paying for the song everybody used to sing a few years back for free. If it goes to CD, you are paying for the cost of that migration. If you are now going to stream Daanase on whatever streaming DSP, despite the fact that Daanase is quote unquote free and we can all sing it however we want, you can climb any stage and sing Daanase. When you stream it on a streaming platform, you will pay.
Yeah, that's true.
Because you are now not paying for the song per se, but you are paying for the accessibility that the medium is giving you. And that makes a song like Daanase fall into fair use. That's the argument that probably, if I was part of the Defe team, I would make.
That leads to the definitive thing. Leads to my next question: have copyright issues affected any Ghanaian artists before?
Yes.
And are there any recent ones aside the definitive? Or you can
Let me cite one that I remember. Da 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 dee dee dee. Dee dee da 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 dee da. A company called Joy Daddy. Fair use, eh? They thought fair use, so they picked that. Da 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 dee dee dee. Da dee da dee dee da da dee da. Only that, and they played it for months, and the artist waited for them to keep playing it.
So it was a trap.
Ah, my God. And they used it in their commercial for like almost 6 months.
So the artist waited for 6 months.
Recorded every jingle that was played. Radio, TV.
Evidence,
Radio,
exhibits.
TV. Radio, TV. And when the fullness of time had come, you understand that one? He gathered everything and took it to the courts. That creation, that dee da da dee dee dee, it is not a complete song. Just that melody over there, dee da da dee dee dee, is somebody's original creation.
That's Rex Omar, right?
That's Resoma. And so if you want to use that phrase, dee da da dee dee dee, da dee 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 da da dee da, you need to seek permission.
And just like you said, and sorry to stress on it, seeking permission does not always mean monetary interaction. You can go to Frankie and say, Charlie, I want to sample this part. And it might be so insignificant to him, to his career or his sales, and doesn't have any competitive value to his music, that you might just get a waiver and they say, okay, we are aware, because you use the song. So when people hear copyright, they think, hey, me could be sad. Right now they go tell me, say they want 30% of my money. It's not that. There was I don't know whether it was Sisters with Voices or and my love will be right here. Oh. I don't know if you remember that song, old R&B song. That in the background. That's
SWV,
That's Michael Jackson's voice. All they had to do was ask. They didn't. And they got sued for that song. That's why that
Human
group
nature.
died.
Human nature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for that creation,
you understand?
just that creation alone, Rexoma was awarded 200,000. He won the case in court.
Easy.
And at that time, 200,000 Ghana cedis, no be joke, 2 billion. That time we call it 2 billion, no be joke.
Old currency, 2 billion.
Yes. And for just that, it wasn't up to a bar. 200,000. And the court awarded it to Rexoma.
It needs to be stated that a lot of artists, especially producers, who are responsible for sampling and interpolation and all these things at the base level, need to realize that it's not about your intent or your intention. Somebody will say, oh, but we don't mean anything. We jingle we they do. The court and the law don't care how you feel or what you thought. You I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Your intention for using it, whether you wanted to rob Frankie or you didn't want to rob Frankie, is not the case. Because a lot of people say, oh, this song saved, I just they use them for something.
Yeah.
That will bring down your whole career, bro.
You said the same thing about David being just a gospel song.
No,
so
but
they are preaching to the people.
Now here's the question: when the group is called to perform, do they charge?
Oh, yeah.
It's commercialized. It's on DSPs.
Yep.
Are they generating revenue?
They are generating.
Okay. Now there's something we call brand equity. Is it growing their brand? That's non-financial, right? But the impact is there. Their followers are going up. Their reach is going up. Their subscriptions are going up. Everything is going up. And anybody can tie that to where the money is. So you have taken what I originated without my permission, turned it into a money-making machine. I'm describing it like they describe it in Koto. Turn it into a money-making machine, and now you don't want to pay me anything. You see how the narrative has changed? I'll make you look like a thief real quick.
A real thief.
Let me make it easy. Intellectual property are creative ideas people have in their mind. They are inspired to create something creatively and they express it in a tangible form. So I have an idea for some shada. I sketch them, I go tailor, we cut them, we sew them. The shada did it. Or some painting. The idea actually did my mind inside before I express them on canvas or on paper. Or it can be the melody or a beat of a song or the lyrics of a song, right? Now, the copyright laws exist to give the same level of protection to some of these creative ideas like it would to your goat. Yeah, they like goat light soup. If you my neighbor way they keep goat for your house, you know me say
I can't take one.
They like some goat soup. Then I see because you get some for your house, I just go collect them and I kill them, make soup. You understand what I'm saying?
Who are you?
Okay. Now, if you apply the same principles to creative works and we let people understand that works that are expressed tangibly do have the same level of protection as your goat. You know, just go hear somebody in song because it be you. That won't work with you. You understand what I try to talk? So the copyright laws actually were created to give creative expressions, original creative expressions, the same level of legal cover or protection as your goat or your house or your car. You buy Benz, I like Benz. So you park, lock door, I sit inside a spark and they drive go. Police go catch me. I don't know if it makes sense.
I get it. That's
perfect.
That's in simpler terms.
I that's exactly what it is. So I think we need to understand that in this digital era, we have so many avenues to monetize creative expressions and creative works. And for creators, you see, a lot of creative people are bored when it comes to law and the business side of things. Your mind be saying, yeah, you just get inspired, you just want to keep creating. But you need to realize that the more you create, the more it should create a certain value, monetary value or otherwise, to enrich your life, to even help you keep creating. And here's where it gets interesting. If you do the right thing, that work is supposed to pay you for your entire lifespan. When you die, whoever inherits your property, so it can be your children, it can be your family, it's supposed to continue paying them for 70 years in addition after your death. Let me double back again. I just wanted to hit right. If you're a creative person and you do not take copyright laws seriously and you do not do the right things to ensure that you have a certain level of compensation and sustenance, protection, you're not only doing yourself a great disservice, but even your unborn kids and your family.
The next generation.
Charlie, be
All
crazy.
generations.
And Bob Marley and kiddies, the money that they chop.
There's still the chop money.
Bro,
When you copyright any piece of artwork, the word used in the copyright document is in perpetuity. That's the time span that is referred to. That's Frankie 5. This microphone is now the intellectual property of Frankie in perpetuity. Meaning that art is not finite, meaning that art is not eternal, art is not infinite. Art is perpetual, meaning that the value will forever be held so long as there is somebody appreciative of the art. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So even if I went today and went to take a song from the 1970s, the fact that that song is not trending or nobody is listening to it, doesn't diminish the value of that song. If I do album now, where I go take Frank Sinatra right now, I go to prison, bro. You understand? If we walk this area right now, check who they listen Frank Sinatra, 0. But if I go studio right now, go sample them, put on Spotify where they call me, say, take it down, where I want to do, hey. But also, bring me coil or prison.
Mosquitoes go use you.
It's not about the momentary value of the art. Art is perpetual. Mona Lisa, we've been talking about Mona Lisa for how long? People who don't even see Mona Lisa before know Mona Lisa because its value stays in perpetuity. So that is it. Reggae, the dubstep, the progression, it's in perpetuity. If Africans had the same commercial exposure that the Caribbeans had to music, with record labels swarming there as far back as the 70s and whatever, we would have had some of our progressions and all that also copywritten and acknowledged. There's not an Afrobeat song today that you can't find our Jama progression inside. All of them. Listen to any, go on anything and play an Afrobeat, you will find it. The tempo might be sped up a bit, slowed up a bit, but the progression of that
Still be there.
it's there. Every song, your favorite song today. Sing any song, the progression there, I will find them for you. But we have not protected that. And that progression was found in High Life. And High Life found it in our traditional music. Because everything was analog, so it was limited. So the options of what you can create with your leg and arms is a closed pool. It's when digitization happened that instruments and multi-layering and all these things happened, and now we have a variation. So just to speak to the fact that the perpetuity is not just about what you see or appreciate today. It's about the little things that built up to make it something that you found value in it. The moment you use it, the court will argue that you used it because what? You found value in it. So the people who took Rexoma's song, if they didn't find value in it, they probably said, oh, Sanyu Mekra, it be old song. Make we use them for the jingle, it be old song. But as much as it be old song, you found value. That's why you used it. And that's why you are being sued.
There's an artist called Pabobo. You know Pabobo?
Yeah.
He sang a song. Osoboche Fansabe Omeni.
Fansabe Omeni.
You're doing TV well. Stonebwoy. The song is very old, but Stonebwoy found value in it. Osoboche Fansabe Omeni. Into the eye. He did the right thing. He went to the family of Dr. Pabobo because he's no more. But like he said, in perpetuity, the successors received him and they did the right thing.
Those who were never in the studio.
Yes. They didn't record with the man, but they enjoy him. Go ask Stonebwoy. They enjoy him. And the moment High Life is documented, all these sounds, like Cyril's talking about, the kwao, the kete, the adowa, the odonson, and all those things will be correctly documented as original sound from Ghana. And so if you pick up where you did Papua New Guinea, we will come after you.
But you know, there's something I also want to add. We have actually missed out, I guess 2 or 3 generations of recording music history from Ghana have missed out on fair compensation because they did not understand some of these concepts. Okay. In 2005, 2006, there was a popular pop band, the Pussycat Dolls. I don't know if you guys remember them. Nicole Scherzinger, yeah, she was they had a Billboard hit song. It was on, I think, number 1, like top 5 of like the Billboard 100, 200 at the time for several weeks. The title of the song is I Don't Need a Man. You can actually YouTube it. And they sampled a popular song from the late C.K. Man and Papa Yankson. Asafo Beson, you know. Yes. And for a while it was even you could trace it on the Wikipedia page dedicated to that album and of course the song. And somebody quietly just come out from there. But you know, Timbaland has sampled Osibisa. their song Fire, Oja, live at the Marquee in London, 73. I can mention like 150 examples. Easy.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
played
Ghanaian music is good.
Wow.
Jacob Banks, one of the most.
But big question, like, I'm not taking his, but big question to both of you is sampling bad?
No, it isn't.
In fact, I think we'll get to that question.
Okay,
I think we'll get to that question.
Okay.
But looking at your field of work, I know you've met a lot of artists. Do you think they are prepared to learn, and are there resources to help them learn about copyright?
What I've noticed is that because creativity is so entrenched in emotion, creatives fail horribly to realize that it's time to work. If I gifted you a plot of land, right? No matter how you feel about the mansion you want to build, you need to get the right expertise to build it. You've accepted that. If I gave you ingredients, whether you knew how to cook or not, without the right tools, there's no meal unless you want to chew the plantain raw. So we've accepted all these processes, these hurdles for every other institution or discipline to pursue. I always say being a creative is the easiest thing to fake. Because if I say I'm a creative, you can't prove I'm not. But if I told you I'm a boxer, you could put me in a ring right now, gang. After they shimo me 3 times, you'll be like, Charlie, this guy will be boxer. If I tell you I'm a 100-meter sprinter, you put me on the track, you realize I'm not a sprinter. But when people floss, I'm a creative, I'm a producer, I'm a rapper, I'm a singer, I'm a this, blah, blah. Because art is so subjective, right? There's no close marking to actually see who the serious and real artists are. And because of that, the same artists take advantage of that gray area and fail to develop themselves. Whatever talent you are innately blessed with, the moment you choose to pursue it,
That's a profession.
it becomes a job. You need to snap out of the I'm good at this and now go into the mode of how can I
make
do
money
this
from
properly?
Yes.
And part of doing this thing properly is understanding the landscape you are going to play with. So it's not just the software you are using for production. It's not just about buying mics and studio monitors and setting up the basic needs to capture your emotional aspect of the talent. You also need to realize that whatever you are producing is going to go and exist in a business landscape where you are nobody, where you know nothing. So it's two things. You either adapt and learn and become a Pharrell or Dr. Dre, a Kanye, who are also just producers sampling, but realize, if I don't learn this thing, they go knock me. Case in point, there was a point in time where Scott Storch was bigger than Dr. Dre. Don't ask me. There was a point in time, there was some 3-4 years where Scott Storch was killing it.
Yep.
But he was so obsessed with the lifestyle and the creativity of being the dopest producer out there that he slacked on the record label exec, the copyright, the syndication, all the other things that Dr. Dre was low-key learning, right? Fast forward, he goes bankrupt. Despite the fact that he has the talent now, he doesn't fit in the ecosystem. Dre is still a high-value producer this morning. So it's not the Jay-Z. Plenty of people, they rap past Jay-Z. Plenty of people were hotter than Jay-Z. When DMX came out and Jay-Z dropped Reasonable Doubt, I might not be Reasonable Doubt. DMX's album outsold Jay-Z's album 4-1.
That's crazy.
Crazy, Jigga. But Jay-Z was the first rap billionaire because he stopped the I'm good at rap and was like, okay, but how can I become the best at the music business? 50 Cent was good at rap. Then he flipped. Now he's everywhere. You get what I'm saying? What I realized, to answer your question about our creatives in this space, is that we focus only on the internal creativity. Bro, you be dope producer.
Settings.
That one, if I wake you up, done, produce. You go fit produce. Go learn about distribution. Go learn about how to syndicate your
Licensing.
content. How to license your content. I know people in this Ghana who are making more money from their productions, being on TV shows and things, than the producers who are producing for big artists, simply based on knowledge. There's the show on, there was a show on DSTV called Date My Family, right? I'm saying this. I handled the sound design and blah, 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 blah for that. Low key block, right? I didn't have to climb a stage, anything. The same expertise.
He said low key blog. That means he collect.
The expertise it took to do that was probably 1/5 of what it would have taken to produce for any of my friends. I could have called Stoneboy or Sack or EL or anybody and said, Charlie, I could try to do this, the song, but you have the expertise, but you don't know the landscape. So because of that, even the opportunities that are available to you, right, you will not capitalize on them. So we need to snap out of the creative addiction. Hey, the guy be dope. Oh, beans.
It's okay.
Who they rap past papoose? You get what I'm saying? But actually, dope is not enough. You get what I'm saying?
I think people are just naturally drawn to the glitz and the glamour of show business.
They get blinded by it.
Yeah, they get blinded by it. And you know what they say, fake it till you make it. And I think, truthfully, in all honesty, I don't think the music business is meant for everybody. But if you want to take this seriously, you do not have a choice. You need to learn and understand the business. Because a lot of people also get, especially in this era of social media, no one is like really posting their failures. We all glorify success. Everybody, eye candy plenty, settings, and we've created and encouraged a culture of people celebrating the idea of success, but not necessarily success. But that changes the moment you begin to understand the laws and the legislations or statutes that govern trying to monetize, creative expressions or creative works.
Before you comment, what I would like to advise young people who are watching us now, you could be a painter, a tailor, or a poet. The moment your inherent creative abilities come to mind and you want to express it, listen, the moment you think of expressing it, think twice, think protection. Don't wait till you finish creating before you begin to think protection. Because when you were creating it, there could be a brother who was sitting by you, be inspired by what you have done and go and protect it. It's no more yours. Hear me well. The moment you think of expressing that creative idea, think the next step, protection, at the same time in parallel. Don't wait. Okay? Because like they said, we are quick to create, but we are slow to protect. If we are very smart and we run the two in parallel, we'll be billionaires. Because most of us have done donkey jobs in the past. I'm sure most of you watching, you have done that. There's keywords that can be protected. For example, this, I don't know whether it's from Papa Yankson or it's who stole from who. Whether it's Castro or Papa Yankson, Sakwaba.
Sure
it's nice. It sounds... Who is it? Is it Papa Yankson or it's for Castro? You get it. And those things, those simple, don't just see them as excitement. Protect them. You could make billions of dollars from it. Right? And the era of Bosu, I beg, Sarkodie plays on beat. I beg, give me that beat. Stop it. That era is over. Charlie, I hear this beat from this guy. Oh, Charlie, be dope. I beg, give me that beat. You go the producer in there, you go record. And you won't take somebody in beat and write for somebody in beat. Go put on iTunes. That era is over. Begin to be creative. Begin to be original. Like I said, the moment you think creation, think protection.
Okay. I like that. What if Sakwaba is just a lingo in Fanti or Takradi or something? Because Papa Yankson is a Fanti and Castro is a Fanti.
That's very debatable.
Can you use Gangnam Style? Can you use Macarena? Can you use Despacito?
I think it's also a gray area because context is also key. Okay, context, the context in which it is used and expressed is also key, because if, like you said, if it can be debated that it's popular lingo, it depends on how much of a brilliant argument you can put forth. But I totally agree with what Frankie said about thinking of protection whenever you create a piece of work, because we've had quite a few of those complaints in the past locally. Somebody will say my song, this person will say, I mean, a classic example is, in my opinion, one of the most recognizable high life riffs, Change NBA Dimeo. You know, K Frimpong. Yeah, but it be BB Collins in work.
But
K-
popularized by K Frimpong.
Yeah, he actually played that riff. You know, so it's very important we take some of these things seriously.
I am really learning a lot today. Okay. So, what are some of the institutions in Ghana that support copyright claims?
For institutions, I'll just name them. First point of call that you need to belong is your instance domain that you feel you belong. If you're a poet, there's a Ghanaian group, an association of poets. You need to first of all belong. Stop playing that individual role. I know that people don't want to be, governed. There are people that want to move on the peripheral, but that koba akope asembeba. Asemba na ope obuafu biabia na wenya. Can you say it in English for me? Okay. So every time, try and belong to an association. That's the first thing. And then today, as we speak, there is a creative arts agency. That's where I work. So every creative practitioner in this country must be recognized by the creative arts agency. And very soon, that law is going to be biting. It will bite. Parliament will rise this year, and before they rise, they are going to be approving the LI to the Law Act 1048. So if you're a photographer, if you're an editor, if you whoever you are, you must get access to that law and read. Because very soon, you cannot operate if you are not certified by the agency in this country, be it a practitioner, an enterprise, or wherever that you belong. The next step, when you create, there's a copyright office in Ghana. There is a copyright office in Ghana. So whatever piece, yes, in Ghana, is at Accra Central, same enclave with Gamro, Musiga, the same enclave. Teachers Hall, I think.
Teachers Secretariat.
Oh, is it not
Ghana
Hall?
National
Not Hall,
Association of...
Yeah, not Hall.
Not Hall.
Not Hall.
Right? So look for the copyright office. If you're a creator, not just music, or if you're a creator, look for the copyright office. And record your works and protect your works with them, first of all. When you finish creating, take it there and go and let them take all those details. If there are people who helped you to create, they will ask for all those details. If it's a piece of music, they will ask for the producer, they will ask for the songwriter, they will ask for, go and protect all those things.
It's not free, right?
No, it doesn't cost much. It's actually free. I could say it's free because really they just take all the items that and there's a small fee. It's nothing to worry about.
Last year, I think it was like 20 cedis.
Yeah.
It's cheaper than a lawsuit, if that helps.
Thank you. You get it. So there is an office for that. That's the copyright office, which is managed by the Attorney General's department in Ghana. These are the key areas. If you are a literary artist, like who writes, publishes stuff, there's a grouping called Copy Ghana. You need to belong to Copy Ghana. If you are a musician and you do any audio visual stuff, you need to belong to Gamro or
if you're a music rights owner, you need to belong.
If you're a producer, it's Gapi, right? And then if you
Audiovisual.
audiovisual,
ASOC.
yeah, ASOC. If you are audiovisual, then you go to ASOC. Because guess what? I'm asking that you belong because these people share money every year, but you don't know. There are monies that government allocate to these groupings who are protecting the works that you have. And they share and they chop your money on your behalf. So belong. Millions of CDs are shared
this kind of-
every year.
You look like you want to go back for your last 10 years.
So if you're a book writer and you belong there, when they are sharing the money, you go get some. Oh, if you're a musician and you belong there, when they are sharing the money, you go get some.
Sir?
Yes, if you're a filmmaker
In
and they are
fact-
sharing money, you will get some.
Let me add this. Let me add this. For years, Ghana instituted a tax or a levy on any item that is imported into Ghana that can potentially be used to infringe on somebody's intellectual property. So when you buy printers, when you buy ink toners or cartridges for your printer, A4 paper, flash drives,
Those times
external hard
CDs.
drives, CDs, cassettes, because Frank may write a book. Your man go EPP or Kingdom Books, see the book, buy them. I go visit him, borrow the book, carry go house, use a photocopy. You've lost revenue. He's lost revenue. So those taxes are slapped on all of these items. And the money is distributed to these associations so that they can be distributed amongst their members.
Okay. Guys, our time is almost up. I've enjoyed this conversation. Like, this is very, very informative and educational. I really want us to do this again because I feel like I've learned a lot today, and you out there, you've also learned a lot today, guys. So the name is Koji Junior, and I'm here with the beat menace, Cyril, Frankie 5. They said I shouldn't call them misters. So do you have any last remark that you want to give?
I want to say something. Your man gets on medicine. They call him Hofebites. They drink him, they shape in hair, they making teeth white, and since they commerce people's everything, but I know one share.
Oh.
That's what I get up.
Oh!
No,
They protect them with.
don't take this guy serious. No.
Nah, just kidding. Last words. It's always a pleasure, having similar interactions with Frankie and Cyril. We all go way back, but I believe there's a new wind of change. Especially with a new crop of creatives springing up. People are starting to ask the right questions. For the first time, I believe more than ever, there's a need for podcasts of this nature where we go behind the veil of aspects that drive the entertainment industry and especially music that a lot of people do not get a chance to see, to ensure that the future generations are protected. So thanks for having us, and it's been a pleasure here discussing.
Thanks for the opportunity. Always a pleasure to be able to share. My advice goes to all creatives. Your talent is not the business. Your talent is an ingredient. It's like getting a bag of rice and being excited that, yay, jollof. No. Go find the tomatoes and the carrots and go find the other stuff. Collaborate. You can't get everything yourself. So collaborate. Reach out to people who know more than you. They say the fool knows that he knows not. The wise man knows that he knows not. The fool thinks he knows everything. You can't be self-sufficient. You can't be the lawyer. You can't be the accountant. You can't be the distro. You can't be the producer, the rapper, the singer. Actually, you go do all. It's a business. So make sure that once you secure your talent, you build or collaborate with the right teams to protect yourself for success.
Right. And I will tell every creative practitioner listening to us right now, just as when you have the money to build that single room, you are thinking of fencing the building and putting electric wires on the wall. When you think creation, think protection. Same way.
Hi guys, so as I said, this is Play It Right podcast, a Ghanaian music right podcast where we dive into essential topics for artists and music publishers. The name is Koji Junior, and I'm out.